Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs. Welcome back to PixARK on the 2x2 server. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all very well. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day and hope you're in the mood for some PixARK action, because today we are doing a little bit more stuff to establish infrastructure on the server, to establish some stuff like farms and things like that. Right now I'm scouting out a decent location for a farm over here in my mountain forest, which I'm still planning on calling my base despite all of the coyotes and raptors and all that. And the best place to do that, the farming stuff really, is going to be over here, because right over here, as you can hear by the sound effects in the background, we have ourselves a river. And the river is going to be our only source of water around here. Unlike the novice grasslands and grasslands that we've seen, that we're used to in this game, mountain forests do not have any lakes or ponds or even like individual water source blocks in the landscape. They're just flat with caves and hills, and that's kind of it, just grassland like that. So we're going to have to pull water from the river, and to do that we're going to need to learn all the engrams for stone pipes, if I haven't already, which I don't think I have. They're in here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Stone intake pipes, taps, that kind of stuff. We're going to have to get all of these on, and I'm actually planning to have a fairly large-scale farming area here, and not just for food, because I recently, luckily, acquired myself a Western storage box blueprint, and that's going to be perfect for what I have in mind, which is storing a large quantity of items in a kind of like locker formation, like kind of like I was doing in the series with Python. We want to have like a big wall of chests, essentially, and have them all be decent size. Like, I'm not worried about getting the most amount of storage into the smallest possible space, because look at this. We have a lot of space to work with, but I'm acquiring a whole bunch of items to the point where I am pretty heavily encumbered by all of this stuff, and being the hoarder that I am, I don't really want to throw any of it away. I have all of this armor and stuff that I'm like, maybe somebody else on the server could use this, and I've been leaving some of it at spawn. I don't know how many people have picked up that stuff, but for now, I want to be able to store this stuff without having to fly to and from the center of the map every time, because it's going to take a while to do that. And I'm also running out of storage space over there because I have two chests over there and they can only hold 15 items each. So anyway, what I need to do to get those Western storage boxes is get some dye, and that looks like grey dye. I promise you it is not. If it was grey dye, I would not be pursuing this particular course of building, because that actually needs yellow dye. And for that, we need to farm a whole bunch of amar berries, and we return to the reason I'm doing the farm in the first place, to get berries for dye. And I also kind of want berries for dye just generally, because when we actually start building the skyscraper over here, I want to be able to paint it in different ways. I want to try out the different combinations of materials, kind of like I'm doing on my single-player world with the castle, but once we can dye different blocks, different colors, there are actually combinations. There are colors that will apply differently to different kinds of blocks, which is good because the sandstone wall basically has the same texture as the clay wall and the stone wall. They're just different base colors, and when you apply a dye to that base color, it turns out differently for each type of wall. So I'm kind of interested to try some of that stuff out, and to begin with, we have to start by building a farm. Now, I actually want to have the water intake come in here. Can I craft one right now? I don't know how much stone I have on me. Probably a stack or so. 44. Okay, not that much. We'll need to get a little bit more stone, and unfortunately my chest containing all of my stone was destroyed by raptors, of course, so we're going to have to probably harvest a little bit more stone. But stone is everywhere, so that's fine. Not a huge issue. Now, if we place this water intake right here on the edge of yonder lake or river or whatever this, I think it's a river. Yeah, it kind of goes in that direction. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tunnel underneath the land over here, which actually is going to be a really good way of getting some more stone, so that's probably not a bad idea. And we're going to come up in a kind of discreet way. Like, I don't want the pipes here to be really obvious. I want them to be kind of popping up in a nice way. So we're not running the pipes over land or anything like that. We're running them up, and they're probably going to end up next to or adjacent to this section here. And we're going to have a network of pipes that runs under this, so just the taps are on the surface, hydrating a 3x3 area around, or not a 3x3, a 5x5, 3 blocks in each direction. I forget exactly what the maths are on that. It's probably 7x7 now that I think about it properly. But yes, we're going to probably fill in this area with dirt so everything is on a single level, or I don't know, maybe it can be made more attractive if it's just like, if it's kept like this. But the problem with that is the bamboo stuff grows on the blocks that it's currently set on and put a layer of dirt over that, it won't spawn. So it actually limits the amount that bamboo is just going to grow through all of our crops and stuff. Like, the trees have set spawning spaces, and if you eliminate those spawning spaces either by removing the block or putting a block on top of it, the trees don't spawn there anymore. So it means our field will be less bamboo-y and have more room for crops and stuff. So I'm going to take care of a little bit of this, going to probably, use a bunch of the dirt that I gathered whilst I was clearing out the area over by where the skyscraper is going to be built, and we will lay down some dirt around here just to kind of even out the land. It's not going to look particularly attractive because we can't place grass blocks in this game without using some cheaty admin commands, which I don't really want to do right now. But actually, I'll take a poll. You guys leave a vote in the poll that's coming up in the iCards right now. Are you okay with us using admin commands to maybe cheat in some grass blocks, maybe replace them for dirt blocks, just so we can make the areas look a little bit nicer? Maybe if we want to do like a cleanup episode or something like that, is that okay with you guys? Because obviously I don't want to be cheating, but I would really love there to be a way of obtaining grass blocks in this game, and there are not. But there's a command I can run that will just give me 100 grass blocks, say, and I can use those to replace the dirt blocks, and everything will look a little bit prettier. If you want me to do that, or you don't want me to do that, click the yes or no button in the poll, and I'll probably act on what the majority of people say. So we're going to do a little bit more digging in here. We're going to get ourselves a nice little irrigation system set up, and we're going to start growing, I think, probably berries of all kinds, and then maybe a couple of things like citronelles, the fruit and veg that I've found useful enough for the time being. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll expand it to growing trees and stuff like that, because I said I needed a tree farm over here. I don't know, we will see. But I'll be back with you guys just after I've done a little bit more digging here. So we got ourselves a little farm set up, a little bit of work went into this. There is a couple of water reservoirs down here which are directing the water in different ways, because I thought these taps were supposed to be like joints that you could have multiple pipes running out of, but it turns out they're not really. There's a very limited amount you can do with these. You can't attach, like that's trying to attach it to a pipe that's already in there. Like you can't really like split a water source in multiple directions except by using a water reservoir, which is this big structure that's underneath there. So right now, we're limited in the area that we can effectively farm within a small range. You get a 7x7 square centered on this, and that's going to do all right, I think, for now. We have another little one set up over here, just a small one, and there's another water reservoir down there, which is piping water over to that one, and could potentially have another pipe that comes up here, but I just wanted to test this out to make sure it would look okay, it would work okay. And naturally, I would want to harvest all of these crops with some kind of gatherer dino, but I don't have a trike over here with me, and I have to be level 50 before I can make a stegosaurus saddle, and I'm only level 49 right now. So we'll just harvest a bunch of this with a sickle. This should thankfully be enough to repopulate the farm, and it should have enough berries for us to make maybe 3 or 4 of those wooden storage boxes. So we should be okay for now. Let me build out to, I think about here is the furthest it will go. Like if I place a crop here, it gets dehydrated and starts to die. So I think, a 7x7 area around one of these pipes is basically the best we're going to get for the time being until we, you could work out a system where you could stagger the farms with different water reservoirs so that the entire area could be filled with crops. But that would be a bit of a pain to work out right now. And really all I want to do is get a decent farm for these berries up and running. Now, it will do 3 blocks diagonally as well. So as you can see, the one here on the corner is still growing despite being, in terms of taxi cab distance, a fair distance away. So yeah, I think this should do all right for now. I think we should be okay. We're farming all of the other types of berries and a couple of citronelles as well, so we should be able to get a decent supply of each of those. The problem, of course, being that while our characters don't die when we log out, all of the stuff in our inventory still expires on that timer. So you do basically have to gather food every time you log in, and these bushes will persist. That's the most important thing. I mean, I think they will persist. I do have to check that they don't all die off when the weather around here becomes snowy, because I've never tried growing anything in a snowy environment before, but hopefully they should all be fine. And then we should be able to grow a huge crop of these and have enough dyes to be getting on with. I also need to work out some sort of food farm, whether that be making bamboo shoot soup or mushrooms or something like that. I'm not certain if we can grow mushrooms just on our own right now. So the bamboo shoots around here should provide a decent amount of amount of soup, something that I can gather really quickly instead of having to... What I've been doing right now is going into the ruins, just killing a bunch of the ruins coyotes that spawn in there, and using the meat from that to cook up my lunch, or whatever it happens to be at the time. I actually got a water tank from one of the supply drops, from one of the loot beacons, and this thing fills up whenever there's rain as well. I don't know if that's going to be the same for the ones underground. I would hope not, but right now the mechanics of the game probably mean that it will. And yeah, this thing is full of water currently, and if I attach a tap to it, you can't fill up a water bag from like one of the corners of it like that. But if I open up the inventory for the tap here, I can just fill that with water, and that takes, I think, it takes 100 water out of that, which means we can head over to the dye workbench over here and just use the water from that reservoir to make ourselves dye with the water bags. Now we have enough for some yellow dye. I do need to put a little bit of fuel in here to make sure this thing is cooking up. Thankfully, we have plenty of thatch right now from all of the thatch that's on the ground around here, and we can craft one of those. And all I need to do is run back to the water reservoir with a couple of water bags. I think I might make another one just to make this trip a little bit easier. And then we should be able to make larger quantities of dye, enough to make ourselves a whole bunch of those storage boxes. And then we'll have plenty of storage to be going on with. And there we go, folks. We got ourselves a couple of Western large storage boxes. We get ourselves 100 slots of inventory space, and that is probably going to take up... Yeah, I think most of this stuff will go in here. I just need to transfer all of that. All of the clothes can go in there, and I can sort through those at a later date. But that is also a bit of a weight off my shoulders. Like, literally. It's going to take a whole bunch of weight off of here. We have tons of fiber, we have tons of like leather and fur and the heavy stuff that we can just put away in here. We'll probably put minerals and things in here. I've been gathering quartz and stuff. Oh, I got some pink berries as well. Got those from the top of the mountain forest up here. And from what I can tell, pink berries don't really have seeds yet. Like, I can't collect the seeds in survival gameplay. It won't let me. I had a couple of plants up there that would literally just disappear when I went at them with a sickle instead of, dropping seeds like the rest of them do. So, not entirely certain what the deal is there. We will get to that another time, I imagine. But look at all the fiber and stuff. I'm just going to put, like, crafting ingredients in here for now. I do need to smelt up some of this, but raptors destroyed my smeltery. You know how this goes. It's happened a couple of times now. What else is there? Heavy stuff in here. I've been collecting tons of charcoal from this area simply because whenever lightning storms happen, it burns down the bamboo and leaves these little piles that you can pick up as charcoal. And it's actually a pretty efficient way of farming charcoal. I'm not going to lie. There are decent amounts of charcoal that just get left on the ground kind of regularly. And oh god, we're freezing. Okay, right. Probably time to look up the wardrobe here and get a little bit of stuff. Now, what is the best looking fur stuff I have in here? Normal, primitive. Yeah, okay, we'll grab one of those. I think the normal one works best. And we'll need a primitive fur coat, I guess. Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to start to take damage here. Excuse me, Stego, I'm trying to change. Do you mind? Ugh. Okay, yeah, we got one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. Are we not freezing yet? Okay, we're good. I actually have enough fur gear to survive now, which is very exciting. That and the ice spear. Now, what else am I carrying that's heavy right now? I think the saddle is probably taking up a fair amount of weight. And then we've got a bunch of dirt and a bunch of sandstone, the other resources I've been collecting. Bamboo also weighs a fair amount, roughly equivalent to wood, I think. So, or maybe about half the weight of wood. That actually makes a fair amount of sense. And then clay and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so I've been gathering a little bit of stuff from the ruins here and there. I do need to drop off some of this stuff that I'm not using, but I got a couple of ascendant axes out of the bug ruins. There's a lot going on here, folks. Well, we've just had a pretty long snowy period, and all the crops seem to have survived, so that is good news. The bad news is there's a thunderstorm right now, and lightning is striking the bamboo all around me. So I'm going to really quickly... I've got my lightning protection helmet on, so hopefully I shouldn't get struck by lightning while I'm using metal tools. But hopefully we can gather all of this stuff up. Oh, that's looking good. Okay, looks like we have a pretty strong yield. It's good that you can get the berries and the seeds at the same time using the sickle, so we shouldn't have any problem replanting these, and we'll have plenty of them to turn into dye. Not to mention that the lightning striking all around means tons of charcoal shows up, so we can actually get all of the stuff we need to make this dye in a relatively small amount of time. And I've even noticed that the hydration effect works going up blocks. I'm not certain what the range is for that. Maybe it's like 3 blocks upwards and downwards as well, but it does seem like we can grow stuff all the way up here and it still gets hydrated by this tap. Like, it's not close enough to any of the other taps to receive water from those, so this tap here is, yeah, max range 3 blocks. I presume that's 3 blocks in every single direction, diagonally, up and down, basically on every axis, which is great. So all we need is 48 seeds, and we have 48 plants growing right there, and that's the maximum yield from a single tap. Not bad. Lads, are you ready to do some adventuring?
I'm kind of scared that my pteranodon's gonna run off again.
It could happen. It could happen. But
Do we have a safety net?
yes. Yeah, we should bring a Pokeball just in case. So,
Yeah.
I have a mountain forest, which I want to introduce you guys to. It doesn't have a name yet, but we're working on it. And you can get to it really easily. So if you want to follow me on the Pteranodons, I will show you the way.
Okay.
I
shall follow.
use the fancy K button to check that you're behind me. There we go. So if you fly out towards these islands over here, there is, next to this one over here that looks like it's trying to eat things, there is a portal. It's got a bit of a Pac-Man sort of impersonation going on. But if you fly straight into this portal, regardless of the fact that you look like you're about to hit the ocean on the other side, you get to my mountain forest.
Oh, well, I'm gone.
You're gone? How gone are you? Where are you gone?
Manta rays!
Wow.
Did you just get killed?
Wow.
Yeah. I went
Right.
through the portal and I was in the water. And then there were manta rays. Big manta rays. Did you go through okay, Kaine?
I've not tried yet. I was just
I've
probably just rescued.
Probably a
your
solid
bird.
idea if you don't. I'm kind of interested to see what this looks like on the other side, to be honest, because never really used these things with more than one other person.
Well, I went through it and you said it looks like you're going to go into the ocean, but ignore it. So I kept going. And
So
I
you
ended
just
up
went
in the
into the ocean. Yeah.
I'm gonna fly back and see where it's got to.
This is an excellent start to an episode.
Oh man.
Oh, you came out. You came out of the portal on the other side.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting
Still
any of
ready.
my stuff back. I'm gonna go really
Stego.
slow. There we go!
Hey, he's through.
Brilliant. Right. All 3 of us made it.
Yay, eventually. So it looks like those portals can only be used one person at a time. That's good to know. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Form an orderly queue.
yes, welcome to my mountain forest. This is where I'm going to be setting up my base underneath the red beacon, so it's nice and easy to find.
Okay, yeah.
Ignore the other biomes around us for now because they contain scary things that will eat us. Whereas the mountain forest is relatively peaceful. There are pandas here. You can pet them. They will bless you. It's a thing. I've not yet tried to attack them. I assume great harm befalls you if you do. But if you walk up to a panda and press E, it says pet the panda to get its blessing, and it gives you like a regen effect for a little while. Oh, there you go.
no,
You got it.
worked.
You're green and sparkly. Very cool. Bam is doing some kind of
There you guys are.
acrobatics down here.
I lost you. My pteranodon had to land because it was tired.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the problem with taming a level 2.
It's kind of at an angle. I feel like this panda's broken.
Yes. Should we try turning it off and on again? Oh, there is another panda up here by the ruin, actually. So if you climb up the hill towards the house, this is not something I've built, by the way. I haven't been building all of these houses. These are generated by the game.
I'm just casually stealing some of your copper ore that's just hanging out on the
dude.
surface here.
I tell you what you want to steal. There's next to the decoration huts over here, there's like a couple of storage lockers.
I like visiting Pix's place. Hey, here's
always-
where all the valuables are.
I've always got presents. Always.
There's iron right here, Pix, if you want it. I can't mine it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got a little bit of that. So if you look in the left-hand one of these, there's a couple of copper spears and a couple of axes and stuff that you guys can help yourselves to. Because yeah, I've moved past copper spear right now, and those are just kind of useful weapons for what we're going to be doing.
You are so efficient at gathering in this game.
Yeah, I do all right. I've actually been I've been playing off camera for a little bit, just kind of gathering stuff for this this
Just a little
project
bit, he
I have
says.
planned.
I see that you haven't been toilet trained yet.
No, sadly no. That's something that I plan to work on next. Is the next step up the tech tree for me is pooping in the right places. So if you want to follow me up this way, so say hello to Mr. Panda. Apparently you brought a squeaky toy for him.
The dog decided to come in here and play with
Yeah, there is most definitely coyotes in here.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to come in here. I'm going to die. Absolutely.
Give him a few whacks with the spear. That's how you do it. This is why the regen effect comes in handy before introducing people to this place. These places spawn in grassland and mountain forest biomes. They usually contain coyotes. Sometimes they contain coyotes in the floor.
Wait, I come back to coyotes in the floor.
Yes, this game is in early access, so expect the rare species of coyote shark.
Whoa!
That as far as I can tell cannot be damaged. So
Can you break the floor and let them out?
I think the best thing to do right now is just to kind of like pop a thing over them. And yeah, they will. We can't break any of the blocks in these ruins. Part of the point of them is that they are kind of like fortress dungeon type things. So yeah.
They'd still hit me through those blocks.
Yeah, it's not the best setup in the world. You just see this like little doggo face. So the idea in here is to locate a few hidden loot chests that are in here. So if you come back into the room with the coyotes and try and get on top of this so that they won't bite you. I will show you where the first one of those is, which is right underneath where Bamb is right now. If you take that out, you end up with a loot chest, and if you step on top of that and open it up, you'll see it's got some cool stuff in there, including a raptor saddle. If you feel like taming a raptor,
hey, copper and
you're
sleepy arrows.
also still being attacked by a coyote. So
yeah, I noticed that.
You should move.
I'm doing my best to get rid of them. There we go. Like sometimes the ones in the floor you can't really hit them. So yeah, I try and just avoid them where possible. The spring boots help with that. The little kind of decorative stuff around here, like the sundries chests, there's little kind of crates and stuff, and the bottles, you can all pick up, and they destroy really easy if you're using a spear or another type of weapon. But they weigh a whole bunch.
Oh right.
So they're nice for decoration, but if you end up carrying a whole bunch of them, you'll just get over encumbered really quick. Yeah,
I may or may not have put all of my levels thus far into weight.
Yeah, that's usually a good strategy. Let's be real.
Copper pickaxe.
Yeah, so sometimes the coyotes drop those loot chests. Sometimes they've just got like soil privilege certificates and things in. Other times they have useful tools and copper and glass and sleepy arrows. Sometimes. Bam has already located secret chest number 2.
He's onto it.
Yep. And if you head up these stairs,
Woo, class.
there are a few coyotes in here. So they're kind of forming a multi-coyote right now, which I think I can probably deal with. And a little bit of glass in there, nothing major. But chest number 3 is behind here.
Boom.
And right now it's got, bamboo lamp blueprints. So this is the stuff that I always come into these ruins for, is like the structure blueprints, because if you go into the engrams, there's this whole tab called Architecture Mastery, which you can only obtain any of the blueprints in there from finding them. You can't learn them yourself.
Right, okay.
So I always go looking for the building blocks.
Are these one hit? So like, if I use it, does that mean that you guys can't?
Yes, but don't worry, because the stuff in this ruin respawns pretty regularly. I think it's on like maybe a 2 or 3 hour timer.
Okay.
So I've been into this place like probably 5 or 6 times in the last couple of days, and it's always had loot in it. So basically whenever I log on, it's there. And in these ones, you'll find bamboo blueprints and I think Western wood blueprints, which are kind of like Wild West style builds.
Oh. Yeah,
You know what the unfortunate part about your name being Bam is? Every time you say it, your ears perk up. I'm like, what is he taking my name for? Oh, wait, he's talking about bamboo.
Yes.
You should be lucky they don't sell Sillet Bang in the States.
Yes. Bam! And the dirt is gone.
It's okay. I was watching Sausage the other day, and he kept saying that every time he crafted or placed something. And
Yes.
I would like,
Bam,
what's he
it's-
want? Oh.
Yeah. He just wants you to pay attention to his videos. That's how you do. Okay, so if you've had Grasslands Ruins 101, you can see there are a few of those around here. Are you ready for lesson 102?
get
There's
down
a
there.
second lesson?
There is a second lesson. For that, we need to go cave diving, and the pteranodons are, strangely enough, the way we do this. So if you head down into this hole, down
Seen
this
Jurassic
way.
World. I know where this is going.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you spot a suspiciously square-looking structure in a cave, it's probably one of these.
Right.
And
It's the equivalent
whoa.
of a nether fortress.
Essentially, yeah. This place is full of bugs, so anybody with bug phobias need not apply. But we can get.
Exclaimer on the screen now.
Yes, exactly.
we
can.
need an experienced programmer.
Yes, exactly. So a lot of these, they have open ceilings, so you can get into them pretty easily. And once you come in here, you will probably find there are a couple of enemies again stuck in the floor. So try your best to just
Yay.
jump past them for now. They won't do a huge amount of damage, but it's probably for the best if you get around them.
I see a bug.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's in the ground.
I see several bugs.
That's a double meaning.
It's a bugged out bug.
That bug's bugged.
Yeah, so in here, most of the loot is through the next room. So if we smash our way through here. Yeah, these are essentially giant ants.
Okay.
Okay, you got that one. Nice. And the loot chests in here turn up in the next couple of rooms if it's on the right-hand side.
Ow.
Oh, and that's Kaine.
I can respawn at your bed.
Oh, yeah, do that. Do that. That's a great idea. I will. I'll try and fly up and find you.
I will try not to die.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, if you hang out in this room, you'll probably be safe. I don't think they tend to move between rooms very much. Whoa, I nearly fell right the way down into the cave.
Fluffykins, why are you?
Yeah, the pteranodons, whenever you get hit, they're very protective of you, and they tend to just, like, come to wherever you are, regardless of whether or not you've told them to stay.
Fluffykins has destroyed something.
It's good to know that you can respawn at my bed, though, because I did not consider that was a thing.
Yeah, you can go to any bed, I think.
I guess it's a tribe thing, right? So that sort of makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, I'm flying back out the cave, and I believe I have... Oh, Falcor is getting stuck on the scenery.
Yay.
I may not have a flyer by the time this is over because I can't figure out how to get out here.
Oh.
Fluffykins was defeated. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll be able to give you a piggyback out of here. That should be no problem. So the next question is, can I go through the portal whilst carrying Bam with my Pteranodon?
We're about to test the limits of early access here.
Yes, I think we are. So through
like
here,
another
you've
chest.
got another chest. And these ones contain slightly different loot to the regular grassland ruins. They've got... sometimes they'll have iron and quartz and silver and stuff in. And there's usually one or two in here, but once again, they are very stuck in the floor, so not really that much of a threat. If you jump up this pile of boxes over here, this is where you'll find the best chest in the whole thing, which right now contains a copperbone sword and a couple of
nice.
blindness arrows and some pistol bullets for when anyone actually gets pistols in this server. So that is
Awesome.
Grassland Ruins 102. There are a bunch of these. There's about 5 or 6 of them just in this cave alone, and you'll find they spawn under the grasslands biome, like the one in the top left-hand corner of the map. So you'll be able to find these things, and they are absolute gold mines for early game loot and weapons and all kinds of stuff. I hit it that time. I actually got rid of the one on the stairs, and it dropped some
work.
silver and some sulfur, both of which I will take.
Hold on, Pix. Can you come back? I can't see the stairs.
Oh. You know how blind I am without my firefly. All right, come on up. Follow the sound of my firefly.
I'm making one of those helmets as soon as I get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one problem with having spring boots is that you can't get through doorways. I find myself having to, like, leap through high up gaps instead of, like, going through a normal doorway like everybody else does. I'll just pick you guys up one at a time. Here we go. Oh, it turns out you're really heavy. Who knew?
Let me drop all the sundress stuff.
Yeah, drop all the sundry crates, wood barrels, all of the stuff that you've found. There's absolutely tons of them everywhere, so even if you wanted to use them for decoration, you'll find a bunch later.
I just have a bad habit collecting absolutely everything.
I know the feeling. And the weather has turned for the worse again.
Yeah, I just got the notification. You are freezing.
Yeah. So I'm going to drop you off outside of here, and hopefully you don't die from fall damage. Brilliant. There we go. If you find any fur clothes in one of those lockers, feel free to put them on, because I have a few of those lying around as well.
You just have copper veins everywhere over here.
This is why I'm setting up in a mountain forest.
Holy crap, it's just this giant vein on the surface right here.
Yeah, there is a type of those in basically every biome outside of the novice grassland. So once you find mountain forest, they have copper on the surface. If you go to, I think it's Golden Realms and snow biomes actually have deposits of iron just on the surface, but you have to be able to survive
Mine iron.
either of those and be able to mine iron. That helps too. But each of them has like another layer of a different resource underneath a lot of the time. So if you mine down below the copper ones, you usually find iron. If you mine below the iron ones, you'll find silver. And yeah, it helps you avoid caving for a while. But then with the ruins and stuff all around anyway, you just get copper ingots from chests and from fighting stuff. So more often than not, I end up with more copper than I know what to do with until later in the game where copper becomes really useful for just like building cool stuff.
Cool, so those were dungeons.
Those are dungeons. Those are 2 of the many dungeons in the world. And I think there are... Let me see. There's one underground in the Golden Realms that's got dilos and scorpions and stuff in. There are pyramids in the deserts. There are castles in the ice plains. And there are, like, sacrificial altar things in the Doomlands, which normally spawn bosses above them, so I never go near them. But there's a lot of, like, pre-generated structures to explore, which kind of makes up for the fact that the obelisks don't do anything right now. Oh, in fact, if you grab your birds again and fly up, there's actually a platform that you can sit on underneath the obelisk.
Funny man.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious what's gonna happen when you go through the portal.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. But
there's a dog biting my feet. This hurts.
Oh no.
Why are you biting me?
So up here, there's as far as I can tell, this is just how we get in touch with the MCP. This is very, very Tron-looking things, and I think there's one of these under each of the obelisks. I assume this does something. I don't know what it does yet.
You can store your dinosaurs in it, and then reclaim them on other servers. So what you put in here, if you go to another server and go to the red thing and open it, you should find you've got your dinos in there.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
so you can actually... That's assuming this is the same as ARK.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
just assuming it is. So,
that's what I would guess it was, yeah. But that's...
So in theory, like, you could probably take a dino out of your single-player world and bring it here.
Well, yeah, so that's... I've learned something new. Which is...
I knew something you didn't about
a
game.
That's all I could really ask for, really. So if you guys wanna hop down here and I'll bring Bam with me. Yeah, if you wanna just fall to your death from this, that'd be great.
Down is easy.
Yeah. I mean, come back here via that portal. Now you know how it works, and try and avoid getting killed by manta rays again, I guess. But
I now know that I need to tame a manta ray. That is my life's mission now.
Yeah, you can put platforms on those guys as well. So.
Yep.
You can
I
have
already
like
wanted an ocean base. Now
exactly.
I want even more.
Mobile ocean base. The only thing that's left to do is see what happens when we drop you through a portal.
Yes! I'm so excited for this.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'm going to be instantly killed by manta rays on the other side because it's going to make you drop me.
I'm pretty sure this leads back to the same location, but some of these portals have been a little bit unreliable, so I don't really know. But that's what experimentation's for. Right, here we go.
All right, let's do it. Nope, it just kicked me off.
Okay. I've gone through.
Let me know when you're through.
Oh, God, I'm through.
Come on in, the water's lovely.
Oh, I made it.
Oh
my God.
The mantas are even watching you, look. They're like hey, friends.
I saw my life flash before my eyes.
That was amazing.